feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your co-host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my co-host today, Lee Heisman. He is a comic book aficionado. And of course, today we had our guest on, Chris Brennaman, who is the owner of Infinite Realities. This is voted by Creative Loafing as Atlanta's best comic book store in the entire area in downtown Tucker. You have to check it out, and of course, you have to listen to the entire interview that we did with Chris today. I had to tell you, it was a really entertaining 45 to 50 minutes that we had talking about all kinds of stuff, not just business, but comic books and things that you might want to know more about collectibles. And remember, if you're watching this, make sure that you click the subscribe button. That way you can get access to all the videos here on the Shrimp Tank YouTube channel, and click that notifications button. That's the only easy way to get all of this to go into your inbox, and you'll get more of what we get from our owners right here on the Shrimp Tank.
Well, Chris, I will tell you, thank you for coming on the show. So I was able to geek out. We talked about that on the show. That's amazing. And that's the best part about geeking out. I've read comics my whole life, since I've been younger, of course. Even up to this day, I might not have as much free time. But reading a comic is fulfilling. What's truly fulfilling is being able to talk about it.
It's the best.
And that's why I want you to talk about your shop.
Sure.
Do you just sell comics, or is it an environment where people can actually connect?
No, we sell community. The best part about comics is the experience of reading comics and sharing that experience that you have when you read a good story. And so when you come to Infinite Realities, you get to geek out with people who are like you and also people who aren't like you. We have a diverse cross-section of people who we consider like our family, our customer base, and you get to geek out with every single one of them every single day.
You know, when we talk about this on the store, but there are people out there thinking maybe I want to open a retail shop, and it may be clothing, it could be something to do with food, but I think with comic books, there's probably so many SKUs because there's so many different comic books. And sometimes, like we've seen this on shows like the Pawn Show with the guys out in Las Vegas. Like you might sit on inventory for a while. So how do you manage inventory and sitting on that cash in the business while you try to grow the business?
Yeah, that's hard because we're bringing in a lot of new stuff that has SKUs that you can put into the system and you sell it like any store would sell, but a lot of it is that collectible stuff. They're bringing that Fantastic Four comic from 1962, stuff that doesn't have a SKU. So we price things competitively, we price things to get out, and honestly, our attitude towards collectibles is you're paying rent collectible, and you got to get out at a certain point.
Right. I like that you have conversations with intimate
I
objects.
talk to it.
Wonder Woman, you're paying rent.
Like, hey, Fantastic Four number 5.
You're paying
I
rent.
see you over there.
He's writing emails to them as well.
You got some dust on you, buddy.
It's brilliant. Well, tell us what the future holds, because I know that comics have gone a little digitally, and we talked about that capping out, but what does the future hold for comics and for your store?
Comics is going to continue to go mainstream. Comics went from being a hobby where if you wanted to have any kind of social cred, you never talked about reading comics, to a thing now where we get high school kids who are the captain of the football team coming in to buy comics every Wednesday. So it's going to continue to be inclusive, and as long as we continue to embrace that inclusivity, there's going to be a market for comics. And stores have to step up.
And it doesn't hurt that the whole movie industry is pushing you
100%.
guys as well,
The movie industry gave people an entry point. Now it falls to stores to be a good ambassador to turn that into sales for comics.
Absolutely.
Now, you said during the interview today that Wonder Woman actually did go toe-to-toe with Superman in the comic books?
She does, man. When she gets tired of his crap sometimes, and they throw hands.
And she wins.
She can win, yeah.
All right. And I was wondering...
She's a warrior. Superman's not a warrior.
In the show, we talked about this thing, and I want people to know this. Is a comic book, can it really be worth $1 million?
It can be worth $3 million.
And why is that? You talked about the whole grading of comic books and how that might matter.
Well, the comic book that's worth $3 million is Action Comics #1. It is a rare comic. There aren't many of them out. It is rare to find it in good condition. And it's also what's called a key comic. Like, that is the first superhero comic ever, and it ushered in everything that we're experiencing now. Whenever you go see a movie with a superhero, it started with that comic book.
With Action Comics.
#1.
So for folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up today and they want to get in touch with you, come to the store, learn more about what you have, because I know it's much more than comics book. There's games and other things like that. How can folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up get in touch with you?
We are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Just do a search for Infinite Realities Comics. You'll find us. If you're ever in the Atlanta area, come see Creative Loafing's voted #1 comic store in Atlanta and Tucker, Georgia, 5007 La Vista Road. Only day we're closed is Tuesdays. That's the day we process new comic books.
I like that. And look, folks, I mean, whether or not you just want to collect and start having a few comic books, or you're thinking about this as part of your overall portfolio, maybe, this is a good thing to check it out. Go check out Infinite Realities. And if you're staying on the YouTube channel, I will tell you one of the most successful retail stores that Lee and I have interviewed over the year was Ben and Sammy Amore with Cloud9 Vape Shop. And they now have some 30 vape shops all around Atlanta from one single store, and we knew them way back when they were like show number 10. So there's a great video you should watch after this about how to open up a vape shop. And it's not just that you're going to open a vape shop, but you might learn a little bit more between Chris's interview today and what we did with Ben and Sammy about how you'd open up a retail store. And thanks so much for watching the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.